Frontier opening bell is the Thursday, the 5th of January. And just a quick look at the markets gives you a sense of how we're setting across some of the major exchanges of the continent. The Johannesburg stock market got 74,568 finishing line on Wednesday. That's up by about 20 basis points. We've got a few new numbers coming through. The Zimbabwe stock market crossed the 20,000 yesterday. The Egyptian stock market roared for Wednesday, 3.26%. That's one of the biggest we saw on the Frontier Africa for the second market day of the new year. Broadly speaking, Nigerian exchange, Boa Cement shares, Nigeria's second largest cement maker, produced 0.12%. Happened the index to produce 0.2%, went up by more than 2%. Industrial goods was much bigger. Consumer goods was also be strong with shares that we saw in Nigerian breweries. That's 51,657. Total transactions in the Nigerian market on Wednesday was around 13 billion naira. That's the strongest we've seen, even for most of the second half of 2022. Then you got the BRVM down by 0.64% for the second day. Some shares like Societe Generale Bank, commercial bank, fell on the day. And then, of course, the Nairobi stock markets not yet able to get a single green shoot since the new year started, down 31 basis points, 126.94. But a few headline news across economic investment and finance markets for East Africa, with Kuramo Capital looking to buy about 1 billion shillings worth of shares in a Trans-Century. That deal is being looked into, while the court in Kenya has thrown out the case by the shareholders of Chase Bank against Deloitte, which is the audit and accounting company that has audited the bank until it went into liquidation. And Kenyan exporters are booking billions of shillings in FX gains due to the low level, the depreciation in the currency, local currency, the shillings. For the third quarter last year, they were able to make more exports. And of course, because of the local currency, they've got what you call FX transaction gains because of the stronger dollar for most part of 2022. We say congratulations to Kenyan exporters. In the meantime, the total FDI, which is foreign direct investment going into Uganda, went up by 35% in the fourth quarter of last year. We're going to see a number of economic data out of Q4 2022 in this new month, including earnings from listed companies across many of the markets on the continent. Let's check into the West Africa space, where the Nigeria's finance minister, also in charge of budget and national planning, spent most of the time yesterday explaining and providing further details and clarifications on the country's 21.83 trillion naira budget for the new year. There are a lot of concerns in there for President Buhari's exit budget for his administration's 8th year. There are concerns how and why these budgets over the past few years have not been able to deliver growth and economic development as well as jobs into 200 million people economy. There are concerns which the Budget Office and the Finance Minister is trying to explain on how to resolve the ways and means. Of course, the finance bill is not yet being clarified and fully approved between the executive and the legislature, but the budget has been signed on. So there's still a lot of concerns out there how the new budget will go into effect. But according to the Senate President, the old budget of 2022 will continue in force until the end of March, and we hope all the other matters would have been resolved by then. Ghana's new e-pharmacy platform goes live. You want to get your pharmaceuticals and drugs online, you can do that with the new e-pharmacies, which the new company in a retail e-commerce platform is trying out in West Africa's Ghana. And the BRVM announced 2 days ago the scrapping of its BRVM 10, replaced with BRVM 30. It also floated two other new indices, which is the BRVM Prestige and the BRVM Growth, just to rejig the market indices and provide a better clarity for investors, both retail and institutional, who are looking to invest in the Franco-West African exchange, which is the house for 8 French-speaking countries in West Africa that the BRVM really is. Then the Global Sovereign Wealth Fund were knocked about by the very choppy stock markets and the bond market in 2022. That put the total assets by Global Sovereign Wealth Funds down by about 8%. That's according to the latest report. And in terms of who are the most industrialized economies on the African continent, a new report by the EFDB showed that Sub-Saharan Africa's most industrialized economies are Egypt, Morocco, South Africa, Tunisia, and Mauritius. And over the past 10 years, 2012 to 2022, the economies in Africa, Sub-Saharan Africa, has been able to make most progress towards industrialization, with Senegal, Ethiopia, Benin Republic, Tanzania, and of course, Uganda. Those were the lists that just released in a new report. The Southern Africa's rolling outage is continuing with Eskom. Not a very good year, 2022, but that rolling outages or blackouts in South Africa will continuing indefinitely into the new year, according to sources within Eskom, which is trying to dig its way out of the problem of outages, debt, and aged power plants that the company has on its books. And South Africa is taking over the presidency of BRICS, which is the acronym for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, which was the body formed a couple of years ago. South Africa is now taking over the presidency, with a BRIC bank being put on the back of that group of emerging economies formed. Invictus Energy says it stopped looking for exploration of oil in a Zimbabwean well because it said it's unfeasible. First exploration well in Zimbabwe. Let's go look at what to continue and see if it's going to get any form of energy from the next exploration. And Salesforce is looking to slash thousands of jobs after it says the company says it's hired too many people. And Shell Drilling has secured further extension from Chevron in Angola, Africa, one of Africa's top oil producing exporter. Okay, let's look at Egypt in North Africa. Quite a few news coming from Morocco and Egypt, by the way, with Morocco's economic growth looking to reach about 3.4% in Q1 2023. That's according to some forecasts. Strong investment momentum is expected in the country, as well as one of the biggest economies north of the continent and one of the most industrialized and fastest growing economy in the entire African continent. The Egyptian Stock Exchange proved its mettle last year, even though things are a little bit tough right now as we start in the new year with the devaluation of the Egyptian pound hitting the currency space. But the Egyptian Stock Exchange was the best performing stock exchange in the Arab world for the entire 2022 financial year. While African report shows that the maximum oil production capacity in Libya will be around 1.8 million barrels per day for the 2024 period. And that's part of the economic news out of North Africa. Keep all this in mind. Have a great day, everyone. I'll see you next time. I am Boosting Number. You can watch this show again on across all our social media platforms, as well as on our YouTube and our website, www.frontierafricareports.com. See you next time, everyone.